Winwing's Christmas sale starts December 21st. Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well. Today we're going to work out which is the best dogfighting missile in DCS World at the end of 2021. Before we get into the details, let's have a look at the requests that have led to making this video. From Snowy Wolf, hi Cap, I have a viewer request and it is, can you do a dogfight between a Sufa and a Jeff Block 3? PL-10 lock on after launch. PS, you can launch the PL-10 without a tone as long as you have a radar lock. Next, Hypercube, doesn't the Python 5 have lock on after launch capability? Grounding, Sidewinder and Longshot demonstrated this in their videos showing off the F-16I and the Python 5's 180-degree kills. Okay. Lord Farquack Gaming, pronunciation, can you do a maneuverability comparison between the Fox 2 short-range missiles like the R-73, the AIM-9X and the R-60M? Okay, so I'm going to bag these three into one video, and I figured, why don't we find out which is the best dogfighting missile in DCS? So, first things, there are loads of them to go through, and we don't want to go through them all in one video because it will take forever. So I've just picked the best that we have in DCS at the moment available for Russians, for the USA, for Israel, and for China. Let's go over some basic stats. Then we'll look at the investigations that we're going to do to try and find out which one is best. Then we'll go and do the testing. Then we'll do a summary. And then we'll ask if it was a useful video, if there's any others you want us to do on a follow-up video. So, first, the R-73A Archer from Russia. This is an old 1984 analog missile. There are much more modern missiles in Russia at the moment, but in DCS, or the core DCS game, this is actually the most recent, which is a bit sad, but that's the way it is. It has a maximum speed of Mach 2.5, a warhead of 7.4 kilos, a claimed maximum off-bore sight firing angle of plus or minus 40 degrees. The black text is what we know, it's what's confirmed in real life and in game. The blue is what's claimed in real life but hasn't been tested in game yet, which is of course what we'll be doing today. We'll be testing and checking it out. And it does not have lock-on after launch ability in real life or in game. Next, USA, AIM-9X Block 1. There are 3 blocks of the AIM-9X in real life. Block 1 we have on the F-16C and the Hornet F-18C, introduced in 2003, so nearly 20 years more modern than this Archer. I believe it's digital sensor. Maximum speeds the same, 2.5. The warhead is much better at 9.4 kilos, a claimed off-bore sight angle of real life of 90 degrees, which is a HOB, high off-bore sight missile, it makes that. Does it have lock-on after launch ability? I believe it had the ability to have that, but it was never actually implemented in the Mark 1 because it's not just the missile, you have to have the aircraft set up for it as well. So no. Next, the Python 5, a very interesting missile from Israel, introduced, I believe, 2006. A real-life Mark of 4, really fast. Don't know how it does that. Massive warhead of 11 kilos. I think the real-life off-bore sight angle is 90 degrees, although I'm still trying to get that confirmed. And in real life, it does have lock-on after launch ability, which is a really interesting thing, which we're going to talk about further today. And finally, our mystery missile. We've got the PL-10 from China, introduced 2013. Mark, I can't find it anywhere. Let me know if you've got a confirmed Mark. Warhead, I can't find it anywhere. Please let me know. Claimed off-bore sight angle when locked in real life of 90 degrees, making it a HOB. And does it have lock-on after launch ability in real life? Claimed yes. Next, let's talk about which are the parameters that we care about. The parameters that we're going to score these missiles on to find out which is best are the ones that are slightly purple colour. Warhead, the warhead size is going to matter. Speed doesn't really matter. I could have a missile that's hypersonic, but at the end of the day, if it can't turn, can't put a lot of Gs, then it's a useless dogfighting missile. Date introduced doesn't really matter. Off-bore sight angle. This is how far off-bore sight, off the datum, the longitudinal axis of the aircraft, can we fire when the missile has a tone or a lock on the hostile. So this does matter. Next, max G. How many G can the missile pull in a turn? The more G, then the tighter and faster it can turn. That's going to be important. Next, max turn rate I've decided to put in. So as well as G, I'd like to also check out turn rate. How many degrees per second Can it turn? How quickly can it do a 180 or a 360 degree? I think that's going to be important as well. It will not be the sustained turn rate. We'll look at a peak turn rate. And finally, lock on after launch is very important, and we'll go through that as well. Again, we need to check in-game which have lock on after launch. Now, the way we'll test this is I'm going to shoot my test dummy down, and we're going to get as much data as we can. Today's test dummy is RC. Say hello, RC.
Hello.
How do you feel about being shot today?
About the same as I always do.
Excellent. RC has lost the ability to feel. And that's fine, because that's how a test dummy should really be.
Exactly. It's a view.
I don't really have a prediction which one's going to be best. I mean, I don't know. Python 5, maybe? I really don't know. We're going to have to see how well they're modeled in the game. Have you got a prediction of which you think is going to be best? Bearing in mind that 2 of them are mods, 2 of them are core game. If that makes a difference, I don't know.
Well, the mods probably, because they're going to be modded.
They might be. They might be.
Overpowered. I don't trust mods because people can make them what they want.
That's exactly right. They're not regulated. They don't have to pass the regulation. That's absolutely right. They could go, 2000 G, or they could pull a realistic G. I guess we'll just have to find out. But it is important that we find out. Right, we're going to start with the Archer. It's just going to be the easiest to do. We'll stick it on a flanker and stand by. First, R73A, finding the max bore sight angle. RC, I'm unpausing. Please stick around 300 knots in an average right turn. Helmet mount display, lock. When I'm within ranging parameters, I will get an LA, launch authority. I will then increase...
Launch authorized.
You can see there we've got launch authority. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out of the circle now. And at the point at which the trackable angle between the direction that my missile and me are facing and the hostile RC, that angle gets above the max off-bore sight angle that the seeker head can see, the LA will disappear. At that point, I quickly pause it and will measure the result. It should work, and it should also be an omnidirectional angle, so it should work left, right. It just happened right there, and I apologise, I was chatting a bit much. And to measure is super simple. I'm going to click on me. My aircraft is heading at 045. If I now measure between me and RC, I get 094. So all I've got to do is get my handy calculator. 94 minus 45 equals 49 degrees. And that will be accurate. I know that probably looks like it won't be very accurate, but that will be pretty accurate. So it claimed in real life 40 degrees, in DCS, for whatever reason, 49 degrees off bore sight angle. Probably easiest if you just fly straight and level and just be a drone. We're going to do a merge, and I'm going to fire at you at a position at which I know the missile can't hit you. I know it can't turn tight enough. And what we're going to do that way is we're going to force the missile to turn the tightest it possibly can, and it will do that. It will probably fail, but at least we'll get its max G and hopefully its max peak turn rate, really. So that's it. Okay, I'm going to fire. 3, 2, 1. That can't hit you. Fire. Oh, look at it turn, RC! That turned a lot better than I thought. Do not shoot RC in the face. I can't help it. It's a natural impulse for me to do. And fire. Can't hit you. It's turned. It tried. And again, look at it, just gave up. Next, we're going to try and get the maximum G and the maximum instantaneous turn rate of the missile. We've had some playing around. We tried kind of head-on merges, and we've tried also tail chases. At least for this missile, the best we can get is a tail chase. So probably the way we'll move forward is we'll do each of the missiles. We'll do a head-on shot, and we'll do a tail chase, and we'll see which gets the best results. So 3, 2, 1, go. Go to a quite relatively aggressive right turn RC. Get some half stick and a bit of power in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay relatively close because I want the missile to turn really quickly. And also I'm going to go a high off bore sight angle.
Authorized.
And then I'll fire, and we'll just really try and get that thing to turn. There, fire. Make it bend. Bend. That's probably the best we're going to get, I imagine. Okay, got authorization. I want to stay as close as I can and get right up to that max bore sight off angle of about 40 degrees. As long as I dare, I've lost it, so I'm going to get it back. Go, fire. That's about as best as I'm going to get. Really make that thing turn. Right. Welcome to the parameters. Now, myself and RC spent several hours attempting front aspect shots, attempting rear aspect shots, and we got some good results. Then we handed it over to Simba, who took it a bit more to the extreme, and he found even better results. So we're going to go over Simba's data here. The way he achieved that is not by doing what myself and RC were doing, but instead by doing a dogfight and a turn rate fight with equal planes. And then when either aircraft were opposite side of the turn circle, he will take the shot. So just give it a second here. Opposite side of the circles now. Takes the shot. And that is where we get our absolute maximum parameters for the missile. So let's study this missile in this case. We're interested in G and turn rate. Turn rate 41 there. G will come soon. Here comes the G. Loading on the G. That's where it really starts to turn. And that was a maximum of 33.9 G for the Archer there, which is really impressive for an old 80s missile. As for the max turn rate, probably going to be in the same place, but let's just go and make sure. An astonishing 54.3 degrees per second. F-16 max off bullseye angle, just a medium right turn again, RC at 300 knots or thereabouts. Start with the radar track. In this case, we're going to listen for when the tone of the missile fails. That means we're outside the limit of the seeker head. This is a modern hob, so it's going to be right. Roger, it's going to be right at the lift vector of the plane. Stop. Right there. My heading is 080. RC is at 169. So 169 take away 080 is 89 degrees. Max G and turn rate head on first of all and fire. Oh, it really bent, RC, it really bent. Here we go, poor old RC doing his duty. Oh, you're right by you. I don't think it's going to turn much faster than that. So much faster. Right, we're going to go to a tail chase now, RC. 60 degrees, 70 degrees, 80 degrees, we'll fire there. Bend, my little baby. Wow, it did a whole S. That was an interesting shot. 80, fire. Look at it, it gave up. Didn't even bother. Didn't even bother that time. 80. Oh, it really bent. It really bent. Nice. All right, let's go and look at the data. And same as with the Archer, Simba could squeeze just a few more degrees and a few more G in a proper turn fight. So that's where we go. Wait for the shot. Missile out. Really got to make it work. And maximum G is found here at 37.2 G. And about the same point, a maximum turn rate of 51.9 degrees per second. Very impressive. Next, the Israeli Python 5. First, max off bullseye angle, assuming we have a lock. Okay. Right. These are the Python 5s, by the way. Reacquired lock. You can see the angle there. That's what we care about. Off bullseye, 13, 14, 15. Yep, it's 30. It's 30 degrees if you've got an IR lock. In real life, it's 90. Next, max G and turn rate. Now, we don't have to do a tail chase because we know this is going to be garnered from a head-on shot. This missile in real life has lock-on after launch ability. Now, we don't have that in-game, as we'll show you, or certainly not modeled as it is in real life. Instead, what we have is the ability for it to fully chase a hostile around 180 degrees, or more than 180 degrees actually, and that is where we're going to get our maximum kinematic parameters. So let me try and show you what I mean. Radar lock, missile lock. I'm going to fire when I'm still within our 30 degrees, but just as it's passing. And watch what this missile can do. And fire. Track the missile, turn all the way around 180 degrees, turning back onto him, and that's going to be hit. So that's interesting. That is how it's simulating the lock-on after launch in DCS. It's, like I said, not true lock-on after launch because it never actually lost a lock. I always had a lock. So before we go look at those parameters, why don't we see what happens if we try to use it as a true lock-on after launch ability now? And that means I'm not going to get a lock. I'm going to arm the weapon and I'm going to fire it right there. You can see it will make. It looked like it went for a minute, but it didn't. It just went straight on the level, basically. So let's show the same thing, but this time I'll get a radar track, but not the seeker lock. There he is. So radar lock, but no seeker lock. So the INS system knows where he is, but we don't have the seeker lock. And I'm going to fire within parameters. Fire now, say. Again, no lock-on after launch ability with the radar track. And finally, we're going to do a tail chase, just proving here that it also won't work, even if it can see the heat of the engine. So I'm going to fire without a lock here, without an IR lock. And unless it literally just runs into him by accident, you can see it will make no attempt to chase him down. So what we've proved there is that there is no lock-on after launch ability like there is in the real jet, but it kind of simulates it by being able to track 180 plus degrees all the way around. And that's the kind of workaround that they've done. So let's go and look at the parameters of that 180 degree plus turn. So here is the head-on shot where we did a 180 plus degree shot, and by virtue of the fact we're doing that, we're going to get the maximum parameters of it. Off it goes. A little bit congested. So turn rate and G are what we're interested in. Now the G, interestingly, is very low. I was expecting to whiz up to 50G or something, but it's done it perfectly within moderate parameters of about 18.2. We're peaking there. 18.2 at 430 knots. And a maximum turn rate at the same point of 43.1 degrees per second. So that is the maximum of the Python 5 modelled on the AIM-9 Lima in DCS. Next, Chinese PL10, the maximum off-bore sight angle we can get.
Shoot.
Car seat, take a right turn. Stop. I am at a heading of 042. He is at 105. 105 minus 42 is, okay, 63, probably means 60, but 63 degrees. Next, maximum G and turn rate, we'll do it the same way as we did with the Python 5. We'll just make it do a 180 degree plus reversal. And missile away. Oh, and it goes. Look at that. That's even better than the Python RC. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right, how about that? Next RC, in fact, I would like to prove that we do not have the lock-on launch ability. I'm going to try firing the missile now without a radar lock and without an IR lock. And let's show that the missile will not track. Just fire there, it should be fine. It's going to make no attempt at tracking.
Shoot. Shoot.
Under there. I'm just going to pause it there, RC. I was about to say I can't do this with a radar lock, but let's see if we can get just a radar lock and not an IR lock, RC. So if we can, I'm going to unpause and please get in the same ones again. Right, why are you not on my radar screen? There you are.
Shoot. Shoot.
No, copy.
Yeah. What I was trying to show there is if we could do a radar track without getting the seeker lock, but a seeker automatically slaves in this aircraft to the radar track. So I can't show just a radar lock. So it appears, unless I've missed something, we have no actual lock-on after launch ability with the PL10 or the Python 5 in DCS. If you think I'm wrong, please provide some proof of that, because I'm more than happy to be wrong. Otherwise, let's go and check out the parameters of the PL10 launch. Okay, a massive turn rate. Look at that. 53 degrees per second. G loading, peak of 36.6 G, and turn rate, also really impressive. I thought it looked fast. The turn rate is also really impressive. I'm just trying to find the maximum. I think it's there, 55.8 I saw. 58.9 degrees per second turn rate. So a really impressive missile. Let's go back and have a look at the statistics. And welcome to the summary. Sorry that it took so long, but there was a lot of stuff to test, and it actually took about 4 or 5 hours to do. We had so many different ideas. Let's fill in the data, and then let's find which is the best dogfighting missile. So, R-73A Archer, acclaimed off-bore sight, track and launch ability of 40 degrees. In DCS, it's 49 degrees. Don't know why there's a difference there. Maximum G loading. In DCS, 33.9 G that we could find. Maximum turn rate, an incredibly impressive maximum instantaneous turn rate of 54.3 degrees per second. Does it have lock-on after launch in real life? No. In DCS, no. AIM-9X, acclaimed real-life off-bore sight track and launch of 90 degrees. We measured 89 degrees. There's always going to be a little bit of measuring error in there. Maximum G we could find in the dogfight was 37.2 G. Maximum turn rate we could achieve instantaneous of 51.9 degrees per second. Lock-on after launch in the Block 1 in real life? No. In DCS, no. Python 5. We're not sure what the real off-bore sight lock and launch is. We've guessed 90. In game, only 30 degrees because it's modelled on the AIM-9 Lima. Maximum achievable instantaneous G we could find of 18.3. Maximum instantaneous turn rate we could find of 43.1 degrees per second. Does it have lock-on after launch ability? Real life, yes. In DCS, no, but instead they've done a fancy trick. And what they've done is have it so that it continues to follow the hostile all the way around to 180 plus degrees. And so it seems very much like lock-on after launch. Is this useful in DCS? Yes, because you can fire in a merge where an AIM-9X wouldn't be able to follow. A Python will be able to follow all the way around and then continue chasing him. So it does have a use. Is it realistic in that respect? I don't know. You'll have to argue amongst yourselves. It certainly doesn't work the same way that a real lock-on after launch missile will work. And finally, the PL-10 from China. Max claimed off-bore sight, launch and lock 90 degrees. Maximum in game 63 degrees. Maximum instantaneous G we found of 36.6 degrees. Maximum turn rate instantaneous, a massive 58.9 degrees per second. And the lock-on after launch, it has the trick like the Python does. So, at the end of that, the Archer scores 0 points, as I'm sure we thought it would. However, it's really not that bad. As you can see, the figures here in-game are actually really impressive. The Sidewinder wins on the off-bore sight track and launch ability by miles, which is really important in a dogfight. And its max instantaneous G is 37.2, just more than the PL-10 from China. So 2 points. Israeli Python 5. It's got the biggest warhead. Also, it has a lock-on after launch type ability in DCS, so it gets a point for that. 2 points. And the PL-10 from China has the most instantaneous turn rate that we could achieve, and it has the kind of trick lock-on after launch, giving it 2 points. So in the metrics that we set out here, it's a draw between the AIM-9X, the Python, and the PL-10. I'm going to have to leave it for you guys to separate which one is your favourite. What's the most important? Is the trick chase lock on after launch ability the most important thing for you? Is the turn rate the most important thing for you? Or the maximum G loading? Or is it the lock and launch angle? For me, probably it's going to be this, the off-bore sight lock and launch ability. In terms of control, that's probably going to give you the most control in an average dogfight. Whereas the trick LOL is going to help in a straight head-on merge. So I'm going for the AIM-9X, but let me know which one you think should have won that. Also, let me know if you want a follow-up video to do other missiles or if you're happy with this. I hope you enjoyed it and see you later.